All right, you guys. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for hopping on and joining me today. My name is Amanda Lamore. I am the West Coast and Midwest Education Manager for Cosmetics. I am so excited to be hopping on doing this elite review with you guys today, just because elite is something that in my own practice that I've really been leaning into heavier. And I also really want to bridge this gap of this spa partner exclusivity for you guys. Like, I want this to be the line that you guys really lean into. I truly believe about 75% to 80% of that home care routine needs to be that elite level of correction. And then we can start to plug in these standard cosmetics products in other places where they need them. But this elite line level of correction really just gives us a stand out and step apart from everything else that we're already doing. And it really just advances that home care level of correction just a little bit higher level than you typically would see. So it's elite for a reason, for sure. But this elite lineup of products, they all feature that higher level of active ingredients to make sure that we have that maximum efficacy without that prescription. A lot of professional treatments on the market actually have that longer amount of healing process, like you guys know with our metabolic peels as well. All of these are going to be very, very stable. They're going to actually help with that healing process in general. And it's really just going to kind of promote the health of the skin tissue in the area without hindering what you guys need to do every single day. So we just continue to renew that promise to you guys that elite is, here to stay, and that this is going to be our highest, most concentrated, action packed. We also want to continue to share with you guys really great ways of stepping your guests up from that standard line into the elite line. So you'll hear me echo and continue to say, let's step up to elite, step up to elite, because it is something that not only is going to change their skin, but it can also change the course of your business as well. So I think elite is just really important to lean into. I'm going to pop in the chat. Oh, yay. Perfect. Yeah. Use the chat, you guys. I love the chat. Perfect. I love some interaction going back and forth. Perfect. So getting in here to our elite line, I just want to quickly cover our proprietary retinol complexes because those are going to play a really vital part in the elite line. So our AGP retinol complex here are going to be the first of our two delivery systems for our retinol. So AGP is going to be that protein complex form of delivery system, that really fatty, kind of healthy type of delivery system here to help retain that barrier function. It also helps create a really nice film forming barrier over the top of the surface there to help keep all other ingredients in. So really how this AGP complex works, it delivers other ingredients and supportive ingredients into the skin, but also is amazing at helping with that natural moisture barrier function. This one is actually going to be most effective for combination to oily skin types. So if you have someone there who's just normally producing oil, they have that thicker, more normal skin tissue disposition, AGP retinol will be for them. In our standard line, you see AGP in Define, Refine Plus. And then in the elite line, you see AGP complex come in to XAge at 1%. XAge is going to be one of our moisturizers. Eye Doctor at 1%, which is the step up from OptiCrystal. And then Refine RX is going to be your highest level performance retinol at a 12% AGP complex. And we'll dive into these deeper as we get to the actual products, but just wanted to give you an AGP overview here. This is what they correlate to and what you'll see them in. But anywhere you see AGP complex, you are thinking normal combination to oily skin. More pustular breakouts, anybody who has a lot of blackheads going on in the area, AGP complex is going to be able to cut through that oil a little bit better than our LG Retnex here, because LG Retnex was formulated as our GAG enhanced encapsulation. It's half a retinol and half retinaldehyde, but it provides maximum strength cellular turnover with very, very little to no irritation. That retinaldehyde is actually able to be recognized and is only one step away in that conversion pathway of retinoic acid. So it's really, really stable. It's going to be amazing for even those really, really fine skin types. So I typically go for my LG Retinex for those who are very, very sensitive. They have very thin skin, drier, more mature, and truly alopecia. I also seem to find LG Retinex, if they have like more cystic, like under the skin acne, LG Retinex tends to work pretty good. And that's why I try to differentiate the two types of acne that we want to use these for. Where we see like pustular acne and whiteheads, we know that they're normally producing oil there because you cannot have acne present without oil in the area. And then your LG Retinex just for those little bit thinner skin types as well. But you have your liposomal phospholipids encapsulation process here. So your liposomes and your glycosaminoglycans here, those two top ingredients actually like hug our retinol and retinaldehyde. They give it a nice little hydrating hug, and it's able to safely be delivered down into the lower layers of skin. It's causing hydration. It's also helping with that lipid barrier function as well, and just really helping speed up that cell turnover in general. And you see here that stability and effectiveness of that phospholipid and glycosaminoglycan encapsulation. You will see LG Retinex in your XL Plus at 1% as a supportive ingredient to support those other brightening ingredient functions and help deliver them a little bit deeper than they would typically like to work. And then your Serum 24 is going to be your most elevated option for your drier, more alopecia skin types when it comes to that LG Retinex formulation. And you'll have 24% of that LG Retinex in Serum 24 as well. Yes, Miss Jolie, I will upload this whole webinar to the EDU portal, and all of the rest of them will also be uploaded on there. But I will also, if you want me to send you this presentation, I can also just forward you this via WeTransfer as well. Perfect. And then getting into our liquid crystal technology here. This is just a little bit better visual, like how they're processed, what they're used for. You'll see liquid crystal technology featured in our X-Age, which is our step up moisturizer from Emulsion. And you'll also see it in our eye doctor as well. It's an incredibly hydrating ingredient. We actually are able to alter the molecular structure of our liquid crystal technology via the thermotropic liquid crystals there. It actually is able to be heated to that temperature range. And that's what creates a really nice kaleidoscope of colors that you see in Optic Crystal and eye doctor. And you also see here just a little bit better visual of how that liquid crystal technology actually works. You see the ingredient go onto the skin, cause that really amazing amount of hydration, but also it's going to draw other oil soluble ingredients and actives deeper into the skin with it as well. So it delivers other types of ingredients really well. It pairs with antioxidants really well and just draws a lot of really amazing hydration to the area as well. So amazing for repairing moisture barrier and just rehydrating in general. Can you guys mute your mic, please? If I could do it, I would. I just am not, I'm not seeing it here. Okay, cool. Okay, and then getting into our elite line options here, we have our step up cleansers. So if you are a fan of Benefit Clean, this is going to be your elevated step up from Benefit Clean. This is our Gentle Clean, very soothing. It's going to be very calming, anti-redness, anti-sensitivity. It's an amazing gel-based moisturizer, or an amazing gel-based cleanser. Really good for sensitive skin types, sensitive, reactive, any type of vascularity or just pre and post like resurfacing or ablative treatments. It's really amazing in that post-care healing process. Even if you're trying to elevate them to more of that elite post-care routine, Gentle Clean is always where you're going to go here. So we're stepping them up from Benefit Clean to that more concentrated version of Gentle Clean here. We love our Shea Butter Betaine here. It's a really amazing moisture binding kind of lather here. It really creates that amazing type of moisturization without stripping that natural barrier. You have your hyaluronic acid here to help retain that hydration as well. And then your L-Bisbalol and aloe vera, really antioxidative, but also kind of act as that nice little band-aid for that healing skin as well. So like I said, if you're loving Benefit Clean, step them up to Gentle Clean. It is such an amazing home care transformation. And it's also incredible to use in the treatment room, you guys. Like, I am such a Gentle Clean treatment room girl. Purity Solution into Gentle Clean, even into RX Clean as like a triple cleanse option. It's so incredible. I love when after my cleanse, the brightness and the results could be like their actual results. So it's really nice. I love cleansing with Gentle Clean. Also, it's going to be lash safe as well. So you're able to go onto the lash line directly with this and cleanse the lashes and around the eye area. Just a really great pre and post cleanser. Perfect. And then into RX Clean here. So if you are loving and living for Purity Clean, RX Clean is going to be that step up version, slightly more exfoliating. We have a pretty low pH here of 3. So this is going to really do some work on texture, hyperpigmentation. Anyone who has those more blemish prone skin, just blemish prone skin in general. It's amazing for that pre-peel, laser, or even like surgical kind of cleanser to kind of start chipping away at that hyperpigmentation and start doing that really good cell correction right off the bat. So amazing for those who just need a little bit more correction or a little bit more congested in general. This is also going to be, if we're talking about elite line 3 steps to prep, because I know you guys always hear me and Courtney just echo 3 steps to prep, 3 steps to prep. In your traditional line, your 3 steps to prep would be your Purity Solution, your Purity Clean, and then into your Purity Balance. Here, you could totally go for that Gentle Clean into RX Clean option. And then if you wanted to still use your Purity Balance, that would be amazing. So just kind of elevating and then plugging in as well. But your RX Clean levels up from your Purity Clean here to your 10% lactic acid. So in Purity Clean, we have that 5%. Here you see that 10% for a little bit heavier amount of correction, a really great gentle exfoliation that's also going to really bind a lot of great hydration and moisture to their skin and bring that life back as well. And then your aloe vera is going to help soothe and calm any type of redness, irritation. Also going to work as that nice little band-aid on top of the skin there to make sure that our microbiome is nice and happy. So I love RX Clean. Really heavily, I lean on RX Clean all the time. One of my favorites. And then moving into, I'm actually going to go to the chat. Mia, is it normal for RX Clean to have a metallic-y smell? Yes, Teresa, it is. That is your L-lactic in the product. That is your just L-lactic acid having a little bit more like medicated scent there. Lactic in general can have that. And if you use more of like the runny viscosity lactic acid, it can really have that kind of metal smell. So yes, very normal to have that more natural scent there. And then with RX Clean, 10% lactic might be slightly heavy to use in the morning. I would probably aim for RX Clean for PM uses. Not that it's going to be unsafe to use during the day, but if you're using it 2 times, that might be just a little bit much. If you're prepping for something and it's a short amount of time, I would still go like every day using it, but just at nighttime. So let's maybe just stick to that once, just because we do need that balance there. Maybe if they were bringing something in like Benefit Clean or even Gentle Clean, but I would still just do that for like a shorter amount of time and for correction, because RX Clean eventually we're just going to need it as maintenance, but it is going to be that ultimate correction product for sure. Perfect. And then into our toners. So this is so exciting, you guys. I know you guys already know everything there is to know about Surface Revival toner, but Surface Revival is going to be our first elite line little toner baby here. So this is an amazing formulation, and to call this a toner, I feel like is a sin because it is so action packed. It's a true 3-in-1 product, and this product gets me so excited because it's just so multifunctional, and I just love it. This is truly like that toner, serum, and essence all in one. It is so luxe. The texture is just such like a fat jelly texture. It's amazing to increase hydration. It does also have a very slightly exfoliating effect to it here. It actually has your gluconolactone, your nice polyhydroxy acid. So it's also going to help even overall tone and texture as well, but still going to be like incredibly hydrating and healing. And it still goes in that toner step. So because it is going to help increase effectiveness and absorption of your future ingredients as well. And this toner just has like so many supportive, amazing ingredients in general. It's almost like we're using this to restore homeostasis in the cell here, to bring down that redness, to make the cell as healthy and pumped up as possible before we intro our like corrective serums and things like that on there. So that's why I think this is just such a game-changing like toner in general. You don't see a lot like it. And for what it does, it really, really works well. Especially getting into these really, really drier summer months. I know you guys know I'm based out of California, but I'm actually in Madison, Wisconsin right now for an on-site visit. I'm doing this call from my on-site training. But being here in Madison, Wisconsin, you guys, makes me feel like that I need to like totally alter that winter like approach for like skincare. And something like this Surface Revival for this area or anyone with that drier climate in general, like it's amazing for that anti-inflammatory, anti-redness aspect. And it's just going to really infuse that hydration and help prevent any type of transepidermal water loss. So you have your red algae extract to really help bring down any type of redness, also minimizing those fine lines and wrinkles. You have some niacinamide to help really great with that barrier function and also help just kind of as that mild exfoliant there as well. We have that gluconolactone that we mentioned earlier. And then your snow mushroom extract is going to mimic that hyaluronic acid, but it's going to penetrate just a little bit deeper. It's going to work a little bit more effectively to bind all those nice hydrating and moisturization to the skin. It's going to really plump and make the skin look nice and supple here for sure. So love, love Surface Revival. Like I said, going to go in that toning, more nutritious step. And then it's so yummy to pair with your growth factor serums, your cell ID, even into your newer Revive and Renew. It's just amazing in combination with those more healing serums too. So let me see. Let's go back through our questions here. Best way to apply with a 2x2 or by hands. So those are the two ways that you could totally apply. I think it kind of depends on what you're trying to do here with the toner. If you want it on a 2x2 to help give a little bit of a grittier like tone or degrease, then you totally could go on with a 2x2. I kind of like it with my hands a little bit better just because I like to be able to feel how much of the product I'm putting on. It is very, a little tiny bit goes a long way. A full pump will have me massaging it down like their chest, out their arms, like to their ears. So that's kind of, honestly, that's why I like it with my hands. I really just like to concentrate the amount that I'm using. And I think sometimes the 2x2 may have a little bit of absorption there. So maybe play with it, see what you like best. But the heat of our hands is amazing for application. A 2x2 is also awesome to give that nice degreasing motion too. And then the next question, how do you use this new serum? So it does have the serum function because it is so like packed with corrective ingredients, but you would just use it in the toning step. I wouldn't say it combines both products just because it doesn't have any salicylic or any like major like exfoliating ingredients in here. I would say yes, it is a step up from both of those because of the concentration, but the type of product that this is a little bit different because it is a little bit more nutritious. Where like, yes, you get that nutritious hydration from Benefit Balance, but there really is no substitute for a Purity Balance for that actual degreasing step in your facial. So that's where it's like, it is an elevated version of your toner because of concentration. But I do still have accounts that like to rehydrate with like Benefit Balance if they want, like after use, because they like to set their makeup with it or whatever. So it does go happily with that. But like I said, there is no replacement for the degreasing step of Purity Balance, because it does really prep the skin very, very well. So I would continue with Purity Balance if you're looking for that in the treatment room, but at home, this would be a slightly more nutritious and yes, elevated than both of those options. It is Natalie, that's a great question. I've actually never really had anyone ask that, but such a great question. Natalie asked, is it possible for anyone to feel dry with Surface Revival from exfoliation if used with other exfoliants? No, just because this is going to really prep the skin really, really well. And it still is that like toning, hydrating, and like prepping step there. So no, this is totally fine. I love to end my like any level 1 treatment after you've removed like even Palm, Blueberry Smoothie, Resurface Blend, PHA, Pure Enzymes, after you've removed and after you've removed your mask option and done your massage and everything like that, this would be that first application of like nutritious product that I put on, and then I would follow with my serums. But no, this is very cooling, super hydrating. So this would not cause any type of additional irritation. This would just be really nutritious for them. But very good question. Perfect, perfect. Or if someone's barrier is compromised, should they use Crystal Clear instead for a bit before using this toner? Not necessarily. Crystal Clear is also super healing and hydrating. I would just look at like the kind of,
don't touch, bitch.
when it comes to things like that, honestly, I feel like it comes down to like base, like ingredient deck, and also probably price point for them. The two products also, Crystal Clear can totally be used like in combination with this one. I know we have some account executives who like, they do a really good job of that layering in combination. And they do an amazing job of speaking to like layering that Crystal Clear option with also just adding a little bit more hydration. I know in those drier areas that you can totally do that. But what I would do is I would apply this Surface Revival as the toner step. And then I would maybe do like 1 to 2 pumps of Crystal Clear. And if you want to like apply that over top as like your like hydrating serum as well, they're still all very like viscosity, like friendly when layering. So there's no need to add a product in before this one, because this could potentially cause irritation. It's going to just be, it's such a happy product. You will see no issue with it at all. Really, gluconolactone. One second. Okay. Okay, sorry. I was getting the kids were getting loud. So yeah, I don't see that this need to anything that you need to like elevate up a compromised barrier, because this will go ahead and start to steadily kind of thicken that barrier back up. And this will really, really be helpful before that as well. So it should be totally fine for someone with compromised skin. What type of skin would this be ideal for? Mature skin. I wouldn't say you necessarily have to like concentrate this to like a skin type, like dry, oily. I would say if they are experiencing any type of transepidermal water loss, no matter the type of skin they have, I think this would be very beneficial for them. But having the gluconolactone, it also is going to be, good for evening out oil production as well. So I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily narrow it down to like mature skin or just like oily skin or anything like that. I would probably go for more of that, what are their main concerns here and what are they experiencing? And then like also seasonally as well, as we go through the drier skin changes and the drier season changes, this would just be like another like nice, really nutritious element to add in there, especially with the mushroom extracts for sure.
Okay.
We're here. That's where I went to go wash my hands.
Wash your hands. Okay. I'm gonna go find a restroom.
Don't forget to mute, you guys, please. And then getting into our Refine RX. Refine RX is going to be that retinol resurfacing treatment here. So this is going to be the highest you can go with our cosmetics AGP complex. This is going to be a 12% AGP complex here. So it's going to be an amazing finishing serum to help with that blemish prone skin, more hyperpigmentation, melasma as well, sun damage, any type of stress, fine lines, wrinkles, enlarged, clogged pores, just very, very resurfacing in general. I love Refine RX. It's a really, really great step up. I know you guys already know, but it's an amazing step up. You have that Define as that first really entry level retinol on the line, and then going into Refine, and then Refine Plus, and then Refine RX would be that step up. How you would go about stepping them up to this 1.5% retinol, you can either work them through their Refine Plus to Refine RX, but you will also have those who can enter in onto Refine RX if you want. What will happen is they will just be a higher age demographic. They will have their damage for that damage demographic. They'll have a higher level of damage as well. And we'll titrate in on this at just like that 1 to 2 times a week. And then we will go on an active day, and then we'll take 2 resting days, and then we'll go on to our active day, and then we'll take 2 resting days. And this is a really happy way to titrate, honestly, onto any type of retinol, is doing the active day and then 2 resting, because the skin is actually healing and doing its best work in that healing phase. We just have to control that, have that nice controlled correction first, and then go into that healing phase for them. So depending on if you are wanting to level up through that, if they have been using that Refine Plus, and you're just like, no, I'm going to level you up here to the Refine RX, just go in on that slower titration of that 1 to 2 times a week, or even, like I said, 1 active day, 2 resting, 1 active day, 2 resting, because this is going to be a very high dose of that retinol here, equivalent to your 1.5% prescription retinol. It also brings in your L-lactic acid to help defend against any type of uneven skin tone, draw some hydration to the area, your sodium lactate, another one to bind a lot of moisture and soothe the skin. And then your L-proline is a really great amino acid as well to kind of thicken that skin back up and really help that with that really great hydration. So love Refine RX, just a little bit on the more potent side there. Yes, Erica, amazing. You're so right. And then bringing in Bakuchiol Complete here as your like off day alternative to for any of the retinol options, whether you're doing Refine RX, even if you're getting over into that LG Retinex, which is going to be for a totally different type of skin. You still are going to be amazing with that Bakuchiol Complete. Totally, for sure. What would be the next step if they want to level up from Serum 24, Refine Plus? That is a great question. Thank you so much for asking that question. If they are a candidate for Refine, they are not a candidate for one of the Serum 16 or Serum 24s. The formulation of AGP complex and LG Retinex, that's why I wanted to go into that first so deeply. They're for 2 totally different skin types. So I get almost 0 crossover for those guests who are candidates for that Refine Plus, Refine RX. They are totally different candidates for Serum 16 and Serum 24. Serum 16 and Serum 24, they have very, very little oil production and that is what the delivery system is meant for. So if you took someone from like Refine or Refine Plus even, and you said, okay, great, now I'm going to elevate you to Serum 24, they could actually see a reduction in results with Serum 24, because if they have oil production in the area, it's not necessarily meant to cut through that oil production. So that's where I like noticing and having that AGP complex and the LG Retinex for the correct candidate is huge, because you would not need to or want to level up from Refine RX. A 1.5% retinol is, I don't know anyone in my life, to be honest with you, or any guest that I would treat that it, on a 2% retinol consistently. This 1.5% is really happy there. And it also does effective exfoliation in other ways with other ingredients here, because we know with our retinol, this result that we're going to see, we don't see the result from retinol that day or the next day. We're going to see that in that cell turnover process as it stimulates that cell turnover process. So we're going to see the results from a retinol treatment 2 to 3 weeks after that we're doing the treatment. So that's also just kind of like saying there, past consistency. I know it's boring, but it's key. Keep them on that Refine RX. You would not want to elevate them or switch them over to Serum 16 or Serum 24. The only reason you would ever want to do that is if we evaluated incorrectly the first time and we introed them into like Refine or Refine RX, but they're truly dry or truly alopecia, non-oil producing skin types. And that's where you have like your Serum 16 or Serum 24 disposition. Perfect. Elizabeth, their Refine RX, I would titrate in on that 1 day active, 2 days resting. They will eventually be able to build up to using this every other night. I have some guests that can use this nightly and build up to this nightly as well. So it's really just all about like the other aspects of where you're caring, but this is something that you can totally build up to like every other nightly use for sure. And PM only, of course. Awesome. And then flip flop here are Serum 24. I also like to, can I go back? Okay. Here is the biggest thing that I will say. And we need to focus on this. The pH here is going to live around 3. This is for oily skin types because over time, what do we need to do other than speeding up cell turnover for oily skin and thick skin? Because the skin is thickened in the area, it is going to exfoliate the skin thickness away over time. That's what a low pH or an acidic pH will do for you. So always watch that as well. The further away we get from that 5 to 5.5 pH, the lower we go, the more exfoliation, the more of like a dramatic exfoliation we will get. So when we pop over here to Serum 24, why is our pH so stable? Our pH in Serum 24 is so stable at a 5.8 to a 6.8 because we over time want to thicken the skin density of someone who has dry, very, very thin skin. This Serum 24 and Serum 16, having that LG-Retinex in there, it actually does thicken the skin tissue density back up over time to help rebuild those fibroblasts, to help rebuild that collagen and elastin, and really help tighten and reduce any type of negative effects that you might see with irritation that you typically see with retinol. But that is why the difference here in the Serum 24 and the other like Refine, Define, Refine Plus, why they're so different and it's so important is because of the pH here. Sometimes a pH will just not work for that specific skin concern. And that's where this happily over time is not only extremely hydrating and really great for speeding up cell turnover, but it is going to steadily thicken that very, very thin skin type back up to its healthy, kind of like normally functioning way. For those clients who are drier or have reactive skin, but also struggle with hormonal acne, would you alternate Serum 16, 24 and Refine Plus? I would not. For those who are they dry or are they dehydrated? Because dryness is a lack of oil. Dehydration is your environment like pulling water from your skin. So that's where I see like that's a conversation you need to have with them. If they're struggling with hormonal acne, like cystic acne, then something like, or even if it's acne from something more like it's like rosacea acne, that's where I would go for Serum 16, Serum 24. Define is not going to make anyone reactive. So if you're having an issue like introing someone in like as an entry level, I would still be very, very happy to go on with that Define, because Define is also super hydrating. It's almost like that moisturizer option with retinol in it. So for the client that you described there, for clients who have drier or have reactive skin but struggle with hormonal acne, I would go straight to Define, just because it's going to help with the hormonal acne. They're not having it consistently, so it's going to help prevent it over time. But it's also, if they're dry, you need that L-lactic to also bring in some really, really great hydration. And you do not have lactic in Refine or Refine Plus, only Refine RX. So that's where it kind of moves a little bit towards like what you need. So for that type of client, I would actually go for more of like a Define. Because if they're reactive, they definitely are not probably want to go with that, that Refine RX for sure. But that's where it's just like the crossover. It will rarely happen. And we'll see here in Serum 24, this kind of just turns more to those more supportive ingredients that are going to be even further hydrating, as well as this 24% L-G-Retin-X. Still that encapsulated delivery system. It's going to be half retinol, half retinaldehyde. It's going to be comparable to that 1% vitamin A serum. We do have that 1% retinol though, and 1% retinaldehyde. So you do have 1% fully of each ingredient there. Jolie, actually all of these, Jolie asked, is Serum 24 the one that you can use as a moisturizer only? It actually, you can totally use that as your like end all be all. All of these retinols, Define, even Refine Plus, they actually all have that like ceramide type quality.
Hey, just a quick reminder, you guys, our 10 a.m. webinar on Elite.
So sorry.
It's okay. I was like, wait, is that me? Is there something coming on here? So all of them are going to have very like ceramide type hydrating qualities. So my finished product always is my retinol. That is actually always, and on the nights that I am going to use my retinol, I use that as my last. I will maybe spritz a little Mystic over there sometimes if I feel like I need it. But all of them have those like moisturizer type qualities in them. Even Refine RX has those really great moisturizer type qualities as well. For something like that, as they're titrating on, obviously I'm going to want to use like a moisturizer over top of it. So I would say Define, Serum 16, and Serum 24 confidently. Define, Serum 16, and Serum 24 can be used as that like moisturizer end all be all product if you need that. Good question though, Jolie, for sure. I love that feature about these retinols because you don't see that a lot with retinols, that they can be that end all be all product. And then getting into our post-peel healers here, my Relief and my Reduce. I love these two such go-tos for me in my treatment room for that back bar and even that post-peel home care. Relief is going to be that really nice soothing peptide gel. It is so packed with like post-procedure healers. If you're having any type of redness, irritation, inflammation, post-treatment, if we've done like a combo, like 3 triple layer peel here, this is going to bring so much great relief to the area. I also like to typically dram out a little bit of this for like a sample for them, and it segues into a retail sell every single time, just because this is like such an amazing like at home nice little like moisturizer as well. Even if you're doing other treatments, you don't, not just like the metabolic peel options, amazing with ablative services, post peel, post laser, post surgical, if you need to keep anything just kind of like wet in the area or keep that microbiome kind of happy and keep it from drying out. This is an amazing option. This actually is also LED safe. So if you are looking for that LED kind of safe option, this does have an epidermal growth factor in here, our encapsulated oligonucleotide. It's just that epidermal growth factor to help support the body's natural healing process. And when we amplify with that LED, it's going to make it have an even greater response. It also has your sodium hyaluronate biogel here to help elevate that hydration aspect and trap that moisture in. And then your Mirabilis jalapa flower is going to really decrease any redness, dry, or irritation that you might be feeling. So I love Relief. It's such a post-peel go-to if they have any type of like redness and inflammation or like uneven hot spots in the area. Also incredible in the post-peel healing process. So if you're looking for something to help heal up post-peel, this is really a go-to for me to differentiate between my Relief and my Reduce. I actually typically go for my Relief more for my oily Fitzpatrick or my just oily skin types in general. And then Reduce having that creamier, like more kind of peptide rich base here. I usually go for this one. This also has your jojoba oil and your rosehip seed oil, your vitamin E. If you have anyone who has any type of post-inflammatory stress going on, or they're just overall reactive in general, that's when I go for Reduce a little bit more if they have a little bit drier disposition, or if they just need that like post-resurfacing care, because it does have a little bit more of those dry skin friendly ingredients like the jojoba oil, your rosehip seed. Really going to be great for entering in back on that moisturization aspect. And then your willow bark extract is really going to soothe. It also helps prevent any type of post-inflammatory stress or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So it's amazing to reduce any type of scarring, like post-procedural. And then your Tatterall does the same thing there. Very powerful antioxidant to help protect against environmental stress that might inhibit the healing process. So two, Relief and Reduce, just two that are very, very vital in that healing process. Reduce, we actually used to have this positioned as a moisturizer. So typically when I do go in with Reduce, that is my end all be all product there too, because this is a moisturizer as well. And then into this XL Plus here. So our XL Plus is going to be a step up from our Simply Brilliant here. This is going to be our amazing brightening serum featuring our LG Retinex. So I know I told you guys just a little bit earlier, here the LG Retinex is a supportive ingredient. So LG Retinex as a supportive ingredient allows for deeper penetration of our other brightening ingredients here. So we have 16 specific brighteners here in XL Plus that are going to really brighten. We also have our tyrosinase inhibitors, our Palmaria pomada, our Waltheria leaf extract is going to really help brighten and help address those multiple pathways of that melanocyte function. So this is going to really do that great hyperpigmentation relief and exfoliation there. Your 1% LG Retinex is going to help penetrate these tyrosinase inhibitors a little bit deeper, help them correct and even at a little bit deeper, more effective level as well. This is PM only. I do like to use this if I am doing off days of my retinol in there. I do totally like to use this on my off day of my retinol, or this can be just a little booster. Don't let it fall into that retinol category just because it does have a retinol in it. Here, it's strictly for support. But really amazing at brightening and having them step up from that Simply Brilliant to XL Plus, so they can get a little deeper level of correction here. And then another happy pairing here with Pepoxide. Yes, Anna, I know. I love XL Plus. And honestly, into this Pepoxide and XL Plus like combination, Pepoxide is AM PM friendly, but this is going to be like our step up big sister product for Affirm and Radiance. So if you are loving Affirm and Radiance, if you have guests that just love Affirm and Radiance, then they have not lived until they have tried Pepoxide, because truly, like, this is one of my favorite products that we actually have in our line in general. I am such a heavy Pepoxide back bar user to end my treatments with it. Like, I live and die by Cell ID and Pepoxide. But I love Pepoxide post-treatment. It always segues into a really amazing retail sell, and they always are repurchasing Pepoxide. Like, it's just such a go-to. Amazing for preventative antioxidative care. It's going to help prevent any type of future hyperpigmentation, but not just hyperpigmentation. It also helps alleviate the sun damage in general that kind of helps weaken those collagen and elastin receptors in our skin. So this is going to steadily over time help really improve those fine lines and wrinkles. It's also going to help decrease any type of sensitivity or redness that they might be seeing and just reactiveness in general. Affirm radiance into pepoxide, honestly, one of the first things that I like to get people on, other than that epidermal growth factor option of Cell ID or Revive and Renew.
President is going to get out there.
We have a few questions here. Lots of my clients ask what percentage of retinol is in XL Plus. What would you tell them when they ask that? It's a 1%. So it's super, super low. It's a 1% LG Retinex, which is just a quarter prescription retinol. So 0.25% is like, it's very, very low. It's super introductory. So literally you can say 1% LG Retinex is in it because that is what it's in it. But if they're looking for a like prescription conversion, it converts to a 0.25% prescription version.
Here's where we will. Don't have anything else to add to it. Just so that tomorrow you can speak about
Awesome. And then don't forget to mute your computers, you guys. And then it says, can you combine Cell ID and pepoxide, or is it a step up from Cell ID? No, so you can totally, they totally need to be used together for sure. This is not considered a step up from Cell ID, only that step up from Affirm and Radiance. So Cell ID, you still need to use this in combination there. So it is super happy in combination with Cell ID for sure. Cell ID first, then you would apply pepoxide after. And then do people mind the smell of pepoxide? Is it not strong to anyone? Yes, antioxidants in general are very, very potent. They can be a little bit stinky for sure. I like to say that all of these products have a very like earthy scent to them. So it just smells like very like heavily antioxidative base, so almost like a little vitamin-ish. So I don't necessarily think that they mind it. Do they comment on it? Yes, probably. But it usually lands in that happy place of, oh, I don't mind the smell, or oh wow, that's potent smelling, but I know that it's working, so I'm going to continue. So I think they actually like the fact more that we don't try to cover it up with that like artificial type of scent. So
also very dangerous.
and then into our ingredient blend here in pepoxide. It has our super antioxidants here. So it's going to have the 16 base antioxidants plus vitamin C in here. So you have your astaxanthin, your superoxide dismutase, and your spintrap, all really great antioxidants. Spintrap's always my favorite one to talk about because spintrap actually, instead of just neutralizing the free radical damage, spintraps actually go in, they find the free radical damage that's kind of just ravaging the cell. They collect it, they spin it up into usable oxygen for the cell, and then they actually redistribute it back out to the cell. And so that is like spintraps in general are just amazing because of that aspect. They actually turn that free radical damage that otherwise would be just totally neutralized or just like sitting in there killing the cell, and they turn it back into a positive ingredient. So I love spintraps. You have your hexapeptide 1 for heavier moisturization, and also just for that anti-aging aspect for that collagen elastin stimulation. Your rhodiola rosé is super age defying. Rhodiola rosé is actually amazing for bringing like female hormonal balance in general. You'll see rhodiola in a lot of like supplemental like female hormone balance products. And so it's just amazing for like anti-stress in general, even just like cellular stress and like anti-redness. It's amazing to help de-stress. And then your Catterall, very great antioxidant, L-glutathione, super potent for brightening as well. And then your Waltheria leaf, your ferulic is going to brighten, but also you have those really nice tyrosinase inhibitors. So we really are hitting multiple kind of pathways of the melanogenesis process here, and really just kind of trying to counteract those at every step. Yes. Yes, thank you, Jolie. You guys, please remember to mute yourselves. I know it's hard because you do pop back on and ask questions, but don't forget to remute yourselves. And this one too, like I love pep oxide because it is so pregnancy safe. It's so pregnancy lactating safe. It's a really, really great option. Like I said, it's going to be that step up from Affirm and Radiance, but still amazing pregnancy lactating safe. Is pep oxide good to use right after a peel as a booster? That is also a great question. After any level 1 treatment, pep oxide is an amazing option. I wouldn't use it post, like obviously deep sea peel or something like that, or blueberry Jesner, but all of the level 1 treatments are going to be totally fine and super, super happy with pep oxide right after, for sure. Even Pure Enzymes, Purity Detox Scrub. No, it's a really, really great application after, for sure. But I would just stick to those level 1 treatments. I'm so heavy on the 3 that I really keep right now, and I'm just obsessed with in my back bar, not only because they correlate to really good retail sales, but also because they're just amazing post-treatment. Always have a huge back bar cell ID with me. I have to always have a huge back bar pep oxide, and then now always have a huge back bar surface revival toner. Like those 3 are like, I love those as my my back bar post treatment, like serum enders. Like they are like go to every single time, whether I'm using them together or actually whether that I'm just using like one and done. They're all just very happy together. So. Perfect. And then getting into your Revive and Renewal Boosting Serum. Oh, actually, sorry, I just saw that. You guys, I think I see somebody signed on 2 times there. And I think maybe one of the other times you guys are signed on, it isn't muted. So just make sure like all of the aspects are muted here, please. Okay. Okay, perfect. Good question. It says, I'm sorry if you already covered this. If Excel Plus is a step up for Simply Brilliant, where does pep oxide land? Great question. So when we talk about hyperpigmentation, we have exfoliating hyperpigmentation that is removing surface level cells to even overall tone. And then we have antioxidants and tyrosinase inhibitors and brighteners that help prevent future damage, but also help restore the health of the cell. That is where Simply Brilliant XL Plus over here, those are actually going to be to remove that little bit of surface level tone and texture and even overall tone. You will get preventative care because there is Waltheria in XL Plus, but if you want more preventative, like collagen elastin stimulation, if you have somebody who has a lot of deep set wrinkles and you know it's because of the sun or just like sun damage in general, that's where pep oxide is going to like come in a little bit different. Pep oxide is not exfoliating in any way. It's just brightening, and it's going to really address like the skin cell or that melanocyte and melanogenesis directly. Where Simply Brilliant XL Plus, they're very exfoliating. They have that very low pH. Pep oxide, Affirm, Radiance are going to be like truly for nutritious and preventative care. So is that a little bit more clear there? I know they do kind of run into each other only because hyperpigmentation care in general, but it is going to be mostly for that exfoliating everything off, for retexturizing, and then pep oxide is not going to retexturize. It's going to straight go for that tonal correction and prevention. Perfect. And then getting into Revive and Renew. Yay, good. Getting into Revive and Renew. This is one of our newest babies here. If you have had an education event with me on site, you know, I know I've already talked about Cell ID 8 times on this, but you know that I love Cell ID, you guys. So to bring in an elevated version of Cell ID, I was so excited. I am so excited. I love, love, love Revive and Renew. It is just going to be that elevated version here of your Cell ID. It is a little bit more of that like creamy lotion type application. And the ingredients here are going to be slightly more supportive of that true drier, mature skin type, but it's still going to be amazing for everyone. Where Cell ID, that viscosity is a little bit more liquidy there, or like water-based. You have that little lotion kind of thicker texture because you do have that nice olive oil base in Revive and Renew. So really going to help address that barrier function for that drier skin type. And then you also have your really great 3 powerful epidermal growth factors here. You have your comfrey root. It has really great benefits other than just that environmental stress benefits. Also super hydrating, really antioxidative. It's going to help fight redness and inflammation. So that's why we love it in the post-peel process to bring down redness. And then your crocus, chrysanthus, and your Japanese orchid stem cell. I know you guys already know your Japanese orchid stem cell from Cell ID, but your crocus chrysanthus bulb is an amazing natural growth factor here. It's meant to stimulate and increase that communication between cells. It really plumps, it helps firm, but it actually works at that dermal epidermal junction. And we just do not have a lot of ingredients that we can say without helping vehicleize that will penetrate and work at that dermal epidermal junction and that dermal level there. So it is really going to start at the root of the problem, and it's going to make those cells much happier, even as we're sending those baby cells up to the top. So we really want to help at that root cause there, and that is how we're going to do this with that Revive and Renew. Really just going to help stimulate that connection with those fibroblasts, stimulate more collagen and elastin. Same with Japanese orchid stem cell here, just increases and improves that communication between your skin stem cells and fibroblasts, helps to lift and firm, fight those wrinkles, and really stimulate some nice new collagen and elastin as well. Perfect. And then going into more of our just benefits here, it's going to firm, hydrate, protect everything that you have in Cell ID. Just going to be a slight step up there with our Revive and Renew, and that little bit of that more creamy texture there. Also going to help with that environmental stress protection. Such an amazing post-peel treatment, especially if you need something just like a little bit more elevated. I know your post-care kits right now do contain your Benefit Clean, your Cell ID, your CPR, and your Hydrate Plus. Hopefully we will be starting to get into some post-care with Elite here. So where you can plug in those Elite line products for right now as a full-size item. If you're having someone who really wants that corrective routine, I would totally work on building that post-care routine for them and with them, going in with your Gentle Clean, having your Revive and Renew, having your Reduce or your Relief, and then your SPF. And then if they have any type of preventative care like hyperpigmentation concerns, I would go straight for Pepoxide. But hopefully you guys will start seeing some really nice post-peel kits with this Elite line as well. So I'm really excited, because post-peel care with Elite is totally next level. It's one of my favorite things. And then into masks here. I'm sorry, you guys. I know we're a little bit over our time, but I'm going to keep going for you guys. Masking options here. We have one mask option with our Elite line, and that is our Awaken mask. I know everyone is very, very familiar with Awaken. One of my favorites to kind of cool and replenish any type of hydration in the treatment room. It has some superfruit extracts in here. Also has that really, really amazing growth factor with your encapsulated oleopeptide here. Also going to have your lingonberry extract. And it also adds your lactobionic acid in here as well. So you have your amazing polyhydroxy acid for just a very, very superficial level exfoliation. This is a mask that I love to use, like even in combination with just for like a cooling treatment or something like that. I love to put it in my skin fridge, keep it nice and cool, and then cool down anything that they might be feeling, because it's just very, very slightly exfoliating with your polyhydroxy acids. Really, PHAs only work to superficially exfoliate to increase hydration. Their only function is increasing hydration. So really, really happy there. Also going to stimulate just a little bit of collagen and elastin. But I love this for any type of like dry, dehydrated skin concerns, and also those with just smaller anti-aging concerns as well. Yes, I know. Awaken is so, so, so good. And it can be used in like such different combinations. I actually even have guests who like religiously come in for like, they only want physical exfoliation. And these are like very old school guests. So it would be like your microdermabrasion guest or your dermaplane guests that are just like, no, I only want my microdermabrasion. I don't want anything else. But this is such a beautiful protocol to actually just microderm and then apply Awaken if they don't want a whole lot else done, because then it's a very quick removal. But you have gotten that complete facial type setup because you have put something back into the skin here after you've dermaplaned or after you've microdermed. So I love this also in combination with any type of modalities as well. And then 2 eyes here. We're almost done, you guys, rounding it out. 2 eye options here with our Elite line. You have your eye complex. This is one of my favorite products that we have launched within the last year. I love eye complex. I have really never felt a formulation quite like eye complex. I love that it is a very gel-like consistency. It really immediately absorbs. And this also, I like to call this like a little like lift me quick complex, because if I'm talking to anyone and they've never used eye complex before, because of the ingredient composition here, and I love this before and after, it's truly exactly what I'm talking about. If I am retailing this to someone, I will begin the conversation by showing them how to turn off and on the applicator. I will then apply just a little bit under one eye for them all the way around. And then I'll keep talking and I'll keep talking about the product and I'll keep talking about the product while we're standing there at the retail shelf. And then after about 2.5 to 3 minutes, you start feeling this like very cooling sensation from your hyaluronic, from your orchid stem cells, from your bakuchiol. It's just so cooling and so soothing, but then also you get a very nice plump and lift effect immediately from the bakuchiol. So I call it my lift me quick complex because of that very quick immediate lift that you do get and really great hydration. And then they are always asking for obviously me to even them out on the other side as well. And then they're purchasing this one. Like it is, they love that it is AM PM. They love the gel formulation. They love the anti-aging aspect, and it's pregnancy and lactating safe. Zero irritation, you guys. Like it is just, I love this product. It is an amazing, amazing product. If you had to say, like, Amanda, which one are you pushing? What eye product are you pushing over everything? I am pushing eye complex. Honestly, that comes down to like my favoritism too. So yeah, I'm totally fine with you guys leaning towards everything else for sure, but it is just, it's an easy sell. It's an amazing product and it works really, really well. So it has your orchid stem cells in here. That you see in Cell ID. So it's really going to be that amazing kind of fine line, wrinkle plumper there. Also going to be that nice little epidermal growth factor. Your hyaluronic acid will hydrate, and then your bakuchiol is going to be that plant-based retinol alternative. Still pregnancy and lactating safe, but still going to contribute to cell turnover, improve that tone, texture. Those who are kind of more prone to getting milia as well, I would totally push them towards eye complex, just because this one has no like undigestible ingredients. All of these ingredients are very digestible. Elizabeth, I do use Awaken with LED sometimes. It kind of depends. It will penetrate through the mask and it's not unstable in any way. But similar to Relief, yes, Awaken can also be used with LED as well. And then Natalie, time frame before and after. So our time frames are with eye creams. I think it's a day. It's only one application that we do for eye creams. And then for serums, it's typically 3 days. So if you see any after serums, it's typically a 3-day use of serum. But with OptiCrystal and with the eye doctor before and after, they're immediate, they're that same day. I don't know if it's immediately after application or if it's like 10 to 15 minutes application, but I do know that it's same day before and afters. Perfect. And then eye doctor, everyone knows and loves. So this is going to be that PM only version of our OptiCrystal. So everyone knows that and loves that OptiCrystal. This is going to be a slight step up from your OptiCrystal. It's going to add that little anti-aging element in here of our AGP complex. So this is amazing for any type of dry, dehydrated skin, fine lines, wrinkles, puffiness that they might be feeling or seeing around the eye area. But you have your liquid crystal technology in here to provide really long, deep, lasting hydration. You also have your 1% AGP complex. It's going to be that really nice, occlusive form of retinol. It's going to really plump and create that nice anti-aging effect. Also speed up cell turnover to plump some fine lines and wrinkles. And then you have your spin traps, your alpha lipoic acid, super antioxidant, very brightening. Also helps with that collagen elastin stimulation as well. And then your copper complex, same, just going to really create a lot of great firming collagen and elastin relief. So love eye doctor, 170 uses in one tube of OptiCrystal and eye doctor. Even though this does come in a smaller tube, this is a really great one to have in your back bar, just because it is a really nice retailable segue product. And you can also teach them how to use it there too, because it is like one of the most important things. I always tell people, like, I intro in asking if they liked Opti or eye doctor. Everyone says yes, except for those who don't know how to use it correctly. And it's truly about the amount of product that you're putting on there. You really just need to fill the little end of the tip there, fill the little end, get a little like ball on the end of your finger. You're going to press, warm it up. And then we're going to always press in around. And as long as you can fill the orbital bone, you are good to go with the application there. So that's kind of how OptiCrystal or how eye doctor takes a little step up from your OptiCrystal there. Other than the AGP complex, very streamlined, very simple. The ingredient decks translate really, really well. And they also do a good, happy like AM, PM combo, Opti AM, eye doctor PM. Perfect. And then we have 2 moisturizer options, you guys, and I will let you go for the day. So for our moisturizer options with our Elite line, we have our Step Up from Emulsion here into X-Age. X-Age, such an amazing formulation here as well. This is actually our moisturizer that adds in just a bit of AGP complex. We add in the very low 1% AGP complex here only to provide support for our other moisturizing ingredients. So our liquid crystal technology is going to be delivered a little bit deeper here because of our retinol. Same with our spin trap. Spin trap, they go in, they are meant to kind of scavenge for that free radical, but with the AGP complex, it's actually able to do that at a different, deeper level than it typically would be able to do. So really, we're just vehicleizing these other amazing moisturizing anti-aging ingredients to help just elevate and make that efficiency a little bit better there. But do love X-Age as that nighttime moisturizer option in the Elite line. You can totally use this every single night. You don't have to titrate in onto this. You can use it every night for sure. Jolie asks, someone mentioned to me once that liquid crystal technology is crushed crystals. Can you expand on that? So at the beginning of that is a totally great question. So many people have questions about liquid crystal technology. actually at the beginning of the presentation there, when it broke it down into like segments of different types of crystals and how we make them into what we do make them into, it's actually using a heating process. So we heat them. It's a thermotropic heating process. We heat them to a certain level, and it's so hot, like almost like kilning them, like kilning, like in a firing kiln. And this liquidizes the type of the ingredient molecule that it is there, and it kind of turns it into that liquid. So crystals can be a solid liquid, and then goes into that more liquid form. So not necessarily crushed, but liquefied. Yes, by heat. So that's more so how that works. And then last but not least, Alt A. Alt A. PM option here. This is also one of our newer babies for our Elite line as a moisturizer. I love Alt A for all skin types. It was formulated for very mature, dry skin types. So in your little bit drier climate there where you have like just no humidity going on, this is going to be an amazing PM moisturizer, and it's like perfect for that environment. Anyone who's feeling dry, just lackluster in general, uneven tone, any type of red skin stress, this is going to help bring that down a little bit. Also just going to kind of help heal up a little bit quicker overnight there. I'm going to go back to the question when I'm done with this one, but yes, I will go back to your question. Alt A. With the ingredient deck here, it does have your silk tree bark extract, which is this Albizia gilabrissin bark extract. That's going to be your silk tree extract. Really going to help plump any fine lines and wrinkles. It's also going to create a really amazing smoothing effect over the skin. As soon as you wake up this is one that I wake up in the morning and I know that I use Alt A at nighttime, because like I can see and feel the difference. Like I can totally see my textural difference. I can tell that really has my collagen has been a little bit more improved with the bakuchiol here. This also has your bakuchiol at 1% here. So it's going to be that pregnancy and lactating safe option along with your bakuchiol as well. The bakuchiol complete, these are two that are very happy together. And then your Ectoin, an amazing ingredient that we use here at Cosmetics, such a high performance hydrator here to help protect skin from environmental stress, pollution. Ectoin is actually such an amazing like healing ingredient. It can actually heal, like even in wound healing, Ectoin is just amazing and so hydrating and just really speeds up that healing process in general. So such an amazing ingredient deck. And then I'm going back to, I saw Isabel's question here. So the liquid crystal is ingredients that undergo some thermal process to become more skin penetrable. Yes, totally. And I'm actually going to go back to that slide here so you guys can see it one more time. But yes, so they are, let me pop back here to my, okay, here's our liquid crystal technology slide. Perfect. So this is how they're processed. So we can have them in a solid, in a liquid, or we can have them in those thermotropic liquid crystals, which is the thermotropic process, how we use them. So when processing these liquid crystals, the chemist can actually change the direction of the molecules and how they're structured. And that's what changes like the phase of the matter. So in a solid, the molecules are aligned in a certain direction and they can't move at all. So that's the solid crystal matter there that we always see and know crystals as. And then in a liquid, the molecules have no arranged order. I know you guys know that. And like any type of like, it's a very liquidy like viscosity. So there we could use that, look a little bit deeper, probably at like crystal clear or something like that. But then where the thermotropic liquid crystals come in, we heat them to a particular range there. And that's where we get that really nice kaleidoscope of like optic effect that you get with OptiCrystal and Eye Doctor. But we also get really, really good occlusion from this process. And it can deliver those other really great oily ingredients, which just means that those ingredients are able to pass through this ingredient and through our skin as well. But that's just a little bit more about like how we process these. It is just that crystal. And then we reposition that molecularly by using that heat. And then the molecules and the structure are just changed a little bit and then create a slightly different effect. Perfect. And then I saw 2 more questions here. What do you recommend for an AM moisturizer in the Elite line? Great question. We don't have an exclusive AM moisturizer in the Elite line, but what I would probably go for is that like Surface Revival toner. And then I would apply my Pepox. Oh, Reduce. I forgot. Totally. I would go for Reduce or Relief if you wanted to go exclusively as like your like Elite line, I would probably go for Reduce. I was going to say I would go more like hydrating and then just maybe in with your SPF during the day because all of our SPFs are incredibly moisturizing as well. But for AM moisturizer in the Elite line, I would totally go for Reduce or even Relief works really well. Relief is an expensive but amazing like makeup base primer type product. I actually have Relief on today and I typically use like Relief as my AM like under my makeup type moisturizer as well. So love Relief and Reduce for that option. And then Jolie, one last question. The color of Eye Doctor, is that plant collagen? Is that the plant collagen? Client asked. The AGP complex, when it comes in contact with the liquid crystal technology, that's what gives it the little bit of like difference in color there. So you will see Eye Doctor be like a little bit more yellow greenish tint. But that's just because of the way that the AGP complex is reacting with the liquid crystals. That's really the only kind of ingredient difference there. Other than that, you have the exact same ingredient deck. Yay. Okay, perfect, you guys. Awesome. I'm going to get all of your emails together. I will send all of these out to you. You will also have the presentation available to you as well. We'll upload that either on, like I said, the EDU portal, or we will put that on Dropbox so you guys are able to see that wherever that you need it. I'll also probably utilize your account executives to get these to you as well, but so excited for you guys to kind of really step into Elite if you haven't already, and especially in this more corrective season when we're getting more into that corrective peel season. I think Elite and kind of elevating to Elite for those really, really sustainable home care results, because we know you guys, like, I don't need to tell you, home care is where it is. Like, we are really like getting them on home care to be able to continue with their correction, because if they are not on it on home care, they're just handing me their money and handing you their money truly, and coming in for like strict relaxation if they're not doing anything at home. So just continue to push forward and making that investment on your skin for home care. And I know you guys are amazing. So it's gonna continue to really just be the snowball effect of like pushing for Elite. Yay. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. I'm going to go through the questions just a few more times here. Is the bundle available for purchase on the site? Yes, it is. She says it is supposed to be available for purchase on the site. Totally. So if you're having any problems with that though, Elizabeth, let me know. That's not so much my realm, but I can get you where you need to go for sure. And then I am going to get all these emails together, you guys. Thank you so much. I am also going to just go ahead and quickly. Dang it. What is happening? Oh, that's what I'm trying to do. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop recording so our recording can save, and then you guys can hop off as you want because we're all good to go. Okay. Thank you guys.